medicines in health, holistic approach in any kind of problem solving, maybe in education or corporate sector or anything. Learning is focused on developing the whole person, the complete person. What are those key principles of holistic education? Let's see. Learner-centered approach. Today's topic is holistic teachers for holistic education. Leave alone the topic. The word holistic itself is so vast. So just pay attention to the last three sentences in blue color. The PowerPoint slides are mere outline of the session so that we will not deviate from the topic. And as I will proceed with the slides, please, we cannot make it exactly interactive because of the time limitation. So whatever the doubts are coming, whatever the questions will be there. So please note it down in your notebook. And during the question answer session, we can discuss everything. And please consider that this session is not at all free. It costs you attention and dedication. Thank you so much. Next slide, ma'am. So this is the flow of the session today. Meaning of the word holistic, teacher, then what is holistic education, then key features of holistic education in ancient Indian knowledge system, then NCF 2005, NEP 2020, NCF 2023, CBSE curriculum, international curriculum, and then what are the obstacles we face while implementing holistic education and addressing them, and finally, the qualities of holistic teacher. Thank you, ma'am. Next slide. Yeah, so we can see here, I will not read it out exactly. You can go through it according to your personal speed. So we can see that this word has come from a Greek word holos, which means whole, complete, integrated, wholesome. So it means full. In Indian word, we can say samagrik, sampurna. So this word holistic, it means an approach or perspective. You can say technique, you can say approach, you can say methodology, which considers something as a whole, rather than focusing solely on its some constituent parts. So definitely we can understand that it is related with something interconnectedness, interdependence, interaction of all the inbuilt components of a particular system, um, system. So next few examples: holistic medicines in health, holistic approach in any kind of problem solving, maybe in education or corporate sector or anything. And next, holistic education in our education industry. Next slide, ma'am. And then teacher word, though it has a little different views where from the teacher word has come. Some people say it has come from a Latin word which means a slave, a servant who carries the student, who escorts the student to the school, though it does not mean appropriate. So we have taken this word. It's from Proto-Germanic word, taikazin, which means to show. So that means a teacher is a person who shows, who demonstrates, who points out, who instructs. To whom? To the learners. And what he demonstrates, what he shows, any knowledge, any skill, any value, any technicality which he is going to impart. Here we will focus on we will emphasize on the word demonstrate. It will be very helpful in our next few slides when we will discuss about the qualities of an holistic teacher. So remember this word demonstrate. So in Indian context, we know Guru, Guruji, Acharya, Adhyapak, Shikshak, even our parents are also our Guru. So we can understand that teacher is a person who helps us to acquire knowledge, who creates a supporting atmosphere, ambience within which we can learn. So teacher guides us, supports us through instruction, explanation, and encouragement, and all the things. Then their role involves sharing expertise, fostering critical thinking, and inspiring growth, which is the ultimate objective of education. Teacher can be anyone: mother, father, elder, friend, colleagues, younger, a formal teacher of an organized institutional system. It may be nature, it may be any inanimate object, also can be our teacher. Next slide, ma'am. So next is, what is holistic education? So holistic education is an approach, it's in perspective or methodology where learning is focused on developing the whole person, the complete person. What are those parts, those constituent parts? What are those aspects? Intellectualism, emotion, sociality, physical, then creativity and spirituality. So it emphasizes on all the constituents and then interconnects all the aspects of a student's life, and then that is reflected with academic skills also, life skills also. What are the key principles of holistic education? Let's see. Learner centered approach, we can understand that. Student centered or child centered. Interconnected learning, learning should be interconnected, it will interconnect, it will integrate all the subjects. Emotional and social development, creativity and critical thinking, connection to nature, community, society, nation where you are living in. So it means holistic education aims for not only academic progress, it also means for the complete life, fulfilling life, happy life, prosperous life. Next slide, ma'am. Is it changed, ma'am? Yeah. Now, understood one thing. Now, question comes. Generally, we do not discuss this thing in school or in in this kind of discussions because time is very limited. But we can understand by our common sense what are our components. Whenever I say that I exist, I live, I am a being, I am a human being. What are my components? Start from the first one: absolute energy, from which the universe is made. Then the universe, then matter, material, and from that my gross body, then my subtle senses, then mind, intellect, ego, and finally the self or the soul or consciousness, and dot dot dot. Mind it, here the first component and the last component, that means ninth component, same and is always same. So that means we can say in our Indian context, Jat Brahmande Tat Pinde, whatever is the universe, that is inside me also. So macrocosm and microcosm, from energy perspective, from consciousness perspective, it is always same. So we have to remember always these nine components of our existence. Universe is also part of my body. If universe is disturbed, if nation is disturbed, society disturbed, state disturbed, my city disturbed, I am disturbed. Next is formal and or informal education system needs. Now a very important question to all the participants, as because we have seen first component is absolute energy and the last component also soul or consciousness. Now question is that, do any education system can be run by a management where the board of directors are dead, where the principal will be appointed a dead principal, the teachers will be dead, society dead, parents are dead, and student dead? Will you give admission to a dead student? Or will a girl marry a dead boy? Maybe he is Mr. Universe. Or will a boy will marry a girl who may be Miss Universe, Mrs. Universe, whatever it is? No. So what is the most important thing? Consciousness, the soul or the spirit. So it means in the holistic education, the most important thing is our consciousness. That is soul or self or spirit, or we can say whatever, life particle. And all the education, that is the subset of this universal set: consciousness education, spiritual education, and we say it holistic education because it is the universal set. Rest all are the subsets. Because if a child is dead, we do not put an effort to make him learn something. The first important, most important factor is consciousness. Next slide, ma'am. So from that we can understand that here, so without life or consciousness, nothing will work. And for smooth functioning, these all components are also important, all are interconnected. Hence, every component of your being needs to be addressed and cultured. And survey says life is 80% of soft skills, which comes from your consciousness, your ego, your intellect, and your mind. And the rest, 15% is hard skills. Suppose you are a biology teacher, so your biology knowledge, it's hard skill and it's the techniques also embedded with that. So that is the most important thing where holistic education 85% plus 15%. Next slide, ma'am. So now why holistic education is needed? Purpose of life is to live a life of purpose. And one quantum physicist, Dr. Schrodinger, says the purpose of studying real science is to find out the ultimate question, who am I? So according to quantum physics, ultimate question is, who am I? And answer also, ultimate answer also, who am I? I am the soul. I am the energy. I am absolute bliss, peace, and existence. So now, if I have to know who I am, what I have to do? All great masters of all civilizations, of all countries, of all communities, they say that to have self-realization, you have to survive and serve the society, serve the nature. So mother, motherland, mother earth, mother nature, you have to serve. To serve, you need some eligibility, some qualifications. And for that, you have to gain knowledge and skill. And to have knowledge and skill, again, you have to be alive. That means consciousness is required. Conscience, your vivek is required. Compliance is required. You have to follow the laws of the nature to learn anything. And then your competence will come, and then you will serve and you will get the result, consequences. So hence the holistic education is important. We can see one author says, holistic education is an approach to learning that considers the whole person, body, mind, spirit, emotion, sociality, everything, and seeks to integrate intellectual, emotional, physical, and social learning. Here, all these four words encompass all those 9 components that we earlier discussed. Next slide, ma'am. So we can say that, okay, next topic, our next agenda is key features of holistic education in ancient Indian knowledge system. Whether it was there in our education system or not, let's see. Ancient Indian knowledge system, it stresses on, emphasizes on holistic approach to education, all around development of individuals. And again, the words are repeated: intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, physically, morally, practical life preparation, self-realization, spiritual enlightenment. Here, so many metaphors, so many anecdotes, so many examples from our ancient history and modern history can be given. But because of the time limitation, I am moving forward. During the question answer, we will discuss. Still, one story is coming in my mind. Mata Arundhati, the wife of Guru Vasishtha, she used to stop Ram and all the 3 brothers from going to jungle, to forest, to collect woods. Guru 2-3 days he tolerated, then told his wife, Devi, have you seen their future? How do you know that after tomorrow they all will be in their palace? They will be given the administrative duty. They will be king. It may happen that they will have to go to the forest. Then how they will survive? They need to learn how to make a cottage, how to make a boat, how to cook, how to collect woods, how to fight with the jungle people, uncivilized peoples, or the demons. So what you are showing, this affection is not affection. You are actually giving poison. So in earlier times, gurus used to prepare the children according to practical life situations. Then self-realization, which is very, very important, spiritual enlightenment. So this is just one small story. So many examples can be given. Key features of holistic education in ancient Indian knowledge system: focus on the whole being, that 9 components we have discussed. Education aimed at nurturing mana, sharira, buddhi, atma. Balance between dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The English words are material, success, ethical living, attending needs, and liberation. Next slide, ma'am. So next is our ancient system used to stress on teacher-student bond, personalized learning, personal relationship, moral guidance, continuously, 24 hours, residential schools, discipline, respect, strong bond, integrated knowledge. Here I have given just few examples. We know that Lord Krishna, he learned 64 arts, 64 kala in 64 days, which includes everything: dancing, sculpture, painting, everything, every skill that is required to survive and to serve. Ethical values, truthfulness, humility, compassion, and qualities are never ending. There's an ocean. Experiential learning, observation, practice, and real life application. A story coming in my mind: the son of Shakuntala, Sarvadaman, whose later name was Bharata. One day he was studying in Gurukula, and one lion, small, it was passing by. He told his guru that, Guruji, I want to count its teeth. Guru told, yes, go. So he went, and then that small lion, he caught it, then told the lion that open your mouth, I will count the tips. So that kind of real life situation they used to face in their tapovana, in their gurukul. So observation, practice, real life applications, participation in household works, household duties, helping Guru Mata, Guru Pita, or parents, father, mother, community activities, social service, connection with nature, definitely environment friendliness, sustainability required. That was part of our education. Next slide, ma'am. Holistic assessment, continuous assessment. There was no written test in front of all the acharyas from other gurukulas, from Bikramshila, Takshashila, Magad. You have to speak then and there. You have to do shastra. You have to prove from your memory, from your understanding, from your skill, from your wisdom. There is nothing like written test or memorizing or copying. It was not possible. So continuous assessment, practical skills, moral behavior, intellectual progress, then self-realization, spiritual growth, inner peace, unity with the divinity, meditation, yoga, reciting verses, chanting, and lifelong learning. Swadhyayat ma pramaditavyam. Continuously learn and learn and learn till death. So these were the features of holistic education in Indian knowledge system, and we can see these systems, these approaches are still relevant, and we can see that those all are reflected in one way or other way in our present NEP. So all the words are there. Next slide, ma'am. So now NCF 2005, though it is old, just we were just going very fast. In NCF also, truth is always same. Whether NCF, whether 2020 NEP or 2023 NCF or ancient, truth always will be same. So we can see the main points are all same. Child-centered or student-centered approach. Then again, all-round development, intellectual, emotional, physical, social, all those things. Key features of holistic education that was written in 2005. All points are there. Learner-centered approach, integration of knowledge, multidisciplinary, contextual learning with real-life application, and focus on life skills and values, critical thinking, decision-making, problem-solving, empathy, cooperation, social responsibility. I'm moving very fast because of time scarcity, but you can understand. If you concentrate on one word only, rest all the things will be enveloped by that single word only. If you say integration of knowledge, everything will come. If you say problem solving, everything will come. All other words will come. Still, we focus on other words. We segregate them and write. Why? Because for learning, we are having two approaches. One is unification, and another is reductionism. One is inductive method, one is a deductive method. One is Agaman Paddhati, another is Nigaman Paddhati. That's why we analyze, and then we write the words again and again with a different terminology. But the concept is same. Next, ma'am. So, art and physical education, what are the purpose? Purpose is creativity, self-expression, physical well-being, inclusive education, where everyone will be entertained, no one will be excluded, environmentally awareness, child-friendly pedagogy. So all these things are there. Next slide, ma'am. So holistic assessment. Assessment also will be continuous and comprehensive, cultural sensitivity and diversity. And then these principles together in NCF 2005 focused on holistic education philosophy. Rest all same. Next slide, ma'am. So now NEP 2020, what are the main features? Points always will be same. Maybe word will be a little bit different. Multidisciplinary and flexible curriculum. We can say integrated curriculum. Focus on skills and values. Development of life skills. Already we have discussed. Values already discussed in 2005 NCF. Integration of co-curricular activities. Very much stress is given on that because you have to be a complete human. Experiential learning. Promotion of Indian knowledge system. Next slide, ma'am. You can take the screenshots because I'm not going through all each and every sentence. Emotional and mental well-being, introduction of wellness programs and counseling system, mental health, universal human values, honesty, compassion, integration of technology and modern pedagogy. This is very, very important now. Digital tools, AI, innovative teaching, and what is the objective of NEP? 21st century global citizens. Again, the purpose of Vasishtha, that my children will not be afraid in their real life situation when he will have to fight with Ravana or Kumbhakarna. So this situation, we have to be prepared for that, 21st century global citizen. Then rooted in cultural and ethical values. Next slide, ma'am. Next, NCF 2023. I'm not going detail. Points are all same. Maybe little words are changed, but still I have compiled it here for our understanding so that we can do a comparative study. Take the screenshot. If any question is there with any terminology, we can discuss later on. Ultimate purpose is same: responsible, capable, and adaptable individuals in society. Next slide, ma'am. Next, what CBSE is doing, CBSE curriculum for holistic education, competency-based education. We can understand. Earlier also, in the ancient time also, competency was there. It was much more better. But it's decreasing now, deteriorating, degrading. That's why we are stressing on skill-based subjects, integration of sports, arts, art-integrated learning, focus on life skill, all common points, value education kits, health and well, all common points, continuous and holistic assessment, which was the earlier CC, same thing, formative assessment, emphasis is given on that, cognitive, emotional, and social aspects of learning, multidisciplinary points the same, use of technology. Next point, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Next slide. Environmental awareness. It was there in Indian knowledge system also. It was there in 2005 NCF also. Teacher training and capacity building. Very, very important. Teachers mostly they do not want to study. Celebration of heritage and cultural organizing programs. That is very, very important. Dr. Kalam says we have everything to be superpower in the world except the self-esteem about our own culture, heritage, and tradition. We do not have self-respect. So that is very, very important. So one example is given, Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat. And there are so many, this kind of programs are there. Experiential learning and alignment with NEP 2020. CBSE focusing very much, and CBSE schools are continuously required to implement the changes that NEP has brought and other things. So CBSE also aims for complete growth of a child, holistic growth of a child. Thank you, ma'am. Next slide. Next is about international curricula. I haven't given very many examples, but we know that IB is there, Switzerland based, then CAIE or IGCSE, that is Cambridge based, then American curriculum, the Montessori curriculum. But we can see the points are all same. Terminologies may be different. Holistic and inquiry based learning, IB features, interdisciplinary learning, connection between various subjects through primary years, PYP, MYP, DP. Global perspective, very much important, which we say 21st century skill in CBSE language. International mindedness and cultural understanding. Definitely we can understand. If I have to work in Nairobi, I have to respect their culture. At the same time, I have to maintain my culture also. Concept of global citizenship. The world is constricting very, it's being narrowed down to a small village, global village. Creativity, activity, and service. This is a very beautiful component of IB curriculum. Learner profile. 10 attributes are given so that children will be universally developed, principled, open-minded, reflective, and caring to nurture well-rounded individuals. Next, IGCSE or CAIE curriculum, Cambridge curriculum. Words are same, meanings are same, flexibility, skill development, personal growth, broad subject choices, all interconnected disciplines, global context, core life skills. Next slide, ma'am, please. And Cambridge global perspective. Next, Montessori education. We all know about Montessori, self-directed learning, holistic child development, child-centered, practical life skills, integrated peace education. This is very, very important, peace education. Then Reggio Emilia approach, that is also focused on creativity, exploration, and community-based learning. These points are covered in other systems also, in INS also, in NCF also, NEP also. Creativity, then community involvement, definitely. You have to take care of all the stakeholders. Parents also will be equally involved in learning, in making the child learn. Environment as a teacher. Next is world of education. This is Germany based. Integration of academics, arts, and practical activities. Developmentally appropriate learning, focus on arts and movement here activities, ethical and spiritual growth. So I have taken these 4 examples of international curriculum. Next slide, ma'am, please. Now, this is the summary of international curriculum. These are the common features. This is also there in our curricula also, interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary, project-based and experiential learning, emotional intelligence, global citizenship, continuous holistic assessment, and relevance for modern education. Their purpose also same, to prepare a child, 21st century global citizen and a cultured citizen. Next slide, ma'am, please. Now, what are the obstacles? What are the challenges we face while we try to implement holistic education and addressing? Main reasons are system. Due to system, we cannot implement everything. Society. So society is having inertia. If in rest, they always will like to be tend to be in rest. If it is in motion, they always will be tend to be in motion. So change is always restricted, prohibited. No one likes acceleration. Societal and individual factors, rigid curriculum structure. This is the syllabus, this is the exam, you have to do it. So this kind of flexibility, lack of flexibility is there. Traditional or orthodox education system, emphasize on examinations. You have to score the marks, and so many examples we can give, so many metaphors, so many quotes. I just it's coming in my mind. SN Bose, quantum physicist, Indian quantum physicist, he says the purpose of education is not to pass examination. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan says purpose of education is liberation, salvation. Sa vidya ya bimukta. You will not find any B.Ed books or any education books in the whole world where it is written that purpose of education is to pass examination or to get a job. Nowhere you will not find. Neither East nor West, nor neither ancient nor modern. Resource constraints, opportunity is not there. You have a library is not there, internet facility is not there, teachers are less, budget constraint is there. Focus on academic success, only marks, 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 marks. Nothing about like how good human being. I remember Dr. Kalam, whenever he used to appoint anyone in his team, he always used to ask his secretary or his assistant, is the fellow a good human being? So being a good human, that was the most important thing for Dr. Kalam. And for all great masters, all you find the definition of education in any B.Ed book, you will find that that is always stressed on perfection, the complete humanity. Time constraint, yes, we have our 40 minutes, 45 minutes, the 40 students are there, we have to do this thing also, this thing also. We cannot focus individually to every child, we cannot attend their doubts. So time constraint is there. Teacher student ratio, it's not good, it's not ideal everywhere. Cultural resistance, we will not send our girls to schools, or girls will not participate in this kind of cultural activities or this kind of sports activities. We see this kind of limitations in every state, in every society. Technological disparities, like I'm sitting in mountain Himalaya, so I am having network issue. Lack of awareness, all the stakeholders, management, school leader, teachers, parents, students are not aware, they do not study, they don't know. So many, you can ask so many teachers, they will not they haven't heard the word holistic progress card, holistic progress report, holistic report card. So they do not study, so awareness is not there. Policy implementation gaps, NEP is given, CBSE is emphasizing, but policy is not practically implemented, so gap is remained. So these are the problems. Now how we can address those challenges? Reforming the education system, which is going on gradually, which will go. Training teachers in holistic teaching methods, CBSE is always emphasizing on that. Continuous professional development is important. Ensuring equitable access to resources and infrastructure. So every child from any marginal section of the society should have equal access. Awareness among parents and communities. Strengthening policy implementation. Here the policy makers, curriculum developers will give stress. They will inspect that whether schools are implementing or not. Adequate funding, budget is very, very important. Dharmasya mulam artham. You want to do any duty, you need money. Monitoring mechanisms, collective effort from all stakeholders. Next slide, ma'am. Now, the most important thing for what we are here today. These are the reasons. First, policy is given, CBSE is given, international curriculum is given, and problems are also there. So now what we can do, like Indian Army, Naam Namak Nishan is very, very important. Samman, Suraksha, Swabhiman is important. My life is secondary. So similarly, we teachers only can bring the changes. If any gap is there due to any kind of resource or funding, but still we can do. Now ball is in the court of a man or woman in the box. You, the teacher, natural intelligence, or I will say real intelligence in the era of AI. Your importance is much more important now, more increased, more significant. So ultimately, you means a live soul with a natural intelligence. So your consciousness, your soul, your conscience, your chetana, your vivek, your culture, your sanskar, and your competence. We say in, have you seen Uri movie? Shoryam Daksham Yudhe. So that dakshata, that competence must be there. So here we are. So for that, we have to culture our consciousness. We have to elevate our consciousness, and we have to refine our culture. We have to polish our competence, and then first we shall know, because we are teacher. Remember the first word they were telling. The teacher is a person who demonstrates. So here you are a acharya. Swayam, by your own acharan, you will give the pravachan. So art of living is very, very important. First, how you live yourself, then art of leading. If your living is correct, then you can lead yourself correctly. Then you will learn the art of giving. When you are full, you are completely in a blissful situation, you are tripta asmi, purna asmi, then you can start giving. And then after giving, you will not hold anything, you will live. You will not take the credit. Yes, child is done excellent, so it is child's. Vashishta has never taken the credit for Rama, or Acharya Drone for Arjuna. They have given the credit to the child itself. It is your Guru Bhakti, it is your dedication, your determination, your devotion, your discipline, your courage, commitment have brought the changes. So what are the characteristics of a holistic teacher? Student-centered approach. Please assimilate these 14 points with the first 9 points, our components of existence, soul to our body, mind, ego, everything. These are interrelated here. Student-centered approach, emotional intelligence, lifelong learner, integrated teaching style, focus on values and ethics, encourages creativity and critical thinking, builds positive relationship. You can understand each and every point. I will explain also further during the question answer session. Promotes physical and mental well-being, encourages global and environmental awareness, uses holistic assessment techniques, inclusive and adaptable, spiritual awareness, encourages community engagement, demonstrate patience and flexibility. You have to live your words, you have to talk your walk, sorry, you have to walk your talks. So finally, holistic teacher, a holy master, a complete personality, is a friend, philosopher, guide, mentor, and above all is a role model like Ratan Tata, like Ustad Zakir Hussain, like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, like Guru Sandipani, like Guru Vashisht, like Guru Bharadwaj. And then how you will develop these qualities, how will you be a holistic teacher? Again, those 9 components are here related with your 7 culture. Health culture, how you maintain your body. This is very, very, this is not your personal thing. Your body is not personal, it is given, it is created by the nature. The components of your body is made from stardust, billions of years old. So your health culture, your energy culture, how much aura you carry. Then your ethical culture, what is your level of integrity and morality. Then your will culture, your determination. Your heart culture, how broad is your mind. Psychic culture, what is your thought process, what is your metaphysical level. Then ultimately, what is your soul, spiritual culture. And you can see 2 beautiful quotes, and there are thousands of quotes. Aristotle says, give me a child before 7 years and I will show you the foundation of the man. Socrates says, give me a child at the age of 5 and take him at the age of 25 from me, and after that neither God can change him nor the Satan. Here in our Indian culture also we are having brahmacharya system. till the age of 25. So within 25, you are made a complete, man. Like milk cannot be mixed with water. But if milk is converted into butter, then butter can be kept in water. It will not be spoiled. So it will not mix with water. So our education should be holistic so that I can become a responsible citizen, and then I can execute my responsibilities. I can serve my society, my nation, my planet, my solar system. Then ultimately I will have my self-realization, liberation, salvation. That is the ultimate aim of education. And ma'am, next slide. Sorry, that slide was not changed. What I have discussed about that, you can see health culture, energy culture, ethical culture, will culture, heart culture, psychic culture, and spiritual culture, interrelated with those 9 components of a human being. And next slide. Be a light. It is for the teachers. Be a light. Be the one people look up for guidance and direction. One, my senior principal, she was my leader, Mrs. Manju Gupta, national awardee from Rashtrapati, principal of Kothari International School. She always used to say, if you can change one life, that if you change one student, your life is successful. So be the one people look up for guidance and direction. Let ideal you aspire to burn brightly within you, blazing a path for all to see. So during the darkness, you will be the lantern, you will be the light, and you will show the path for everyone. That is the purpose of a teacher. Next slide, ma'am. So the ritual of contribution and significance. I cannot believe that the purpose of life is to be happy. Today's management is not giving increment, management is not giving us salary, students do not respect, parents called us. Excuses and reasons are never ending, but still Bhagat Singh did not make any excuse. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose did not make any excuse. Indian Army does not make excuse when they give the duty at minus 50 or even 55 in Rajasthan. So purpose cannot be to be happy. I think the purpose of life is to be useful, to be responsible, to be compassionate. It is evolved to matter, to count, to stand for something, to have and made some difference that you have lived at all. And finally, the biggest quality of a holistic teacher is love and affection, never-ending love and affection for his student. Acharya Drona says, "Shishya bhi putra saman hote hain." The student is also just equal to a son. Thank you, everyone. Jai Hind, Uttishta Bharata.
Like what mindset shifts are necessary for both students and teachers in this regard?
First one is, ma'am, this can be answered in so many ways. But most important thing is that I am alive. So I am having the consciousness. So I am having the full positivity. I am having the infinite potential because you are absolute energy. So that is the most important thing. You are full of knowledge. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Just by external practices, external educational system, we have to remove the darts. We have to remove our sanskar of body, mind, intellect, ego, and self. And the soul is always full of knowledge. Like I teach physics, I always give example to the student that better you know physics from your home, from mother's home, because you know reflection, you know refraction, you know thermodynamics. You by touching you can know she's my mother or she's the nurse. So in the physics class, you just learn the language of physics, how to express physics by a physicist to a physicist. Same way in our formal education system also, we just develop the external things. Internal things is always there. It is all part of common sense. Like I'm giving an example. No child will say that I stomach is paining. He knows that stomach belongs to me. My body and I are separate things. So similarly, all our knowledge system also is part of our existence. So we have to be infinitely energetic that yes, I can do anything. I know anything and I can solve any problems. And after that, it is just external practice, abhyas and vairagya, practice and detachment with undesired things and attachment with the higher purpose. Though it can be answered in so many other ways also.
Thank you, sir. I can see Dr. Jenny Raphael has raised hand. Dr. Jenny, can you unmute yourself and ask question?
I can see one question, ma'am. What do you think the topmost priority for teachers to be aligned with NEP 2020? Professional development is given importance in the policy. Can you guide the schools? Yes, a school can be guided. The answer may be very long, but in short, I can say three factors are there. One is your integrity, another one is nationality, and another one is spirituality. So integrity, nationality, spirituality, these are the most important things you should have to align yourself with the NEP. Rest all automatically will follow. Because if you have integrity, that means you will read the NEP, you will implement the NEP, you will practice the NEP. I know so many teachers, they have never touched NEP even. So then they do not know anything. So integrity should be there. And if you have the nationality, you will automatically love your children, you will love your organization, you will love your nation, you will love your society, you will love your parents of your children. That means automatically all the stakeholders are coming. I will say that all topmost priority will be the subset of these three sets: integrity, nationality, and spirituality. And practically, we can guide the schools. Definitely, hand holding can be done for every small things. Again, reductionism. That universal concept of integrity, nationality, spirituality can be reduced to small objectives also, aims also. I think I could explain.
Thank you, sir. Jenny ma'am, are you there? Can you please unmute yourself? Okay. Can
Ma'am,
we
can
move
you
on to the
write
next question from Sreja VH? Even after the emphasis on holistic individual, still schools stress on marks and grades. So really a stressful situation for the teachers as they have to focus on both. Clearly says we are focusing only on written marks, how it can be managed and how it can be understandable to management.
Ma'am, first point is that remember, no ideal machine is available in the material world. No machine can have 100% mechanical efficiency. So that means no system will be absolutely foolproof. Definitely some lacking will be there. The most important thing that whether I am doing my part or not. I give my example of my hero, my ideal, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He has worked with the politicians also. We always criticize the politicians. They have this, they are this problems, but he never uttered a single negative sentence, neither in his books or in speeches or in his articles. He always thought positively and worked, and he know that one day I have to leave the world. So he lived his life, then he left the life also very graciously. While delivering a lecture, he left his mortal body. So same thing we also can do. We will put our 100% effort, and Newton's third law will give us the reward. We will try to explain the management, and we can understand that it is not possible for management to always understand, to accept. They have their own limitations, maybe ego problem, maybe budget problem. The only thing is that my focus will be there, my effort will be 200%, my integrity will be 200%. Definitely, you can be successful 80% at least. And few problems always will be there in the material world. Ideal machine is not available in the material world.
That is a question from Dr. Jenny Raphael. So you mentioned about cultures teachers have to develop. Is there any provision in the newly developed ITEP program as a part of teacher empowerment?
Ma'am, these things are directly, indirectly. It is always embedded, enveloped in anything. We have seen here that in Indian knowledge system also, in NCF also, in NEP also, in international curriculum, in national curriculum, everywhere you will find the truth is always same. So these cultures are always embedded. Here I have word these words, health culture, energy culture, ethical culture, I have learned from one my master, Himalayan master. But these words are already incorporated in all other manuals also, in all other handbooks also. Just you practice this culture, you, as soon as you will realize these things, you will find that yes, this is given. Like I do not need to read all the physics books in all the languages. If I have read physics book in English, I can understand that this is also given in Russian language also. If I read one spiritual text, I can understand that this same truth will be written in other texts also anywhere. So health culture, it relates everything: sports, gamification, sports integration. Similarly, energy culture, all positivity, all the your motivational books of best authors of the world, you will find this energy culture is given. So I mean to say, you either use this terminology or another terminology, you will find it everywhere. It is given everywhere, directly or indirectly. You just practice from one perspective, automatically 360-degree perspectives will be obtained.
Thank you, sir, for that. We have another question from Norden. What do you think of holistic progress cards being implemented in schools? Is it easy to implement or are there shortcomings?
No, ma'am. Shortcomings will be there. It is not. It is never easy. It is never easy. Even we can say we can see the. I'm giving one ancient example and one modern example also. Ancient example also. Guru Acharya Drone, he was quite successful. Acharya Kripa was quite successful. His Gurukul was famous in the world. But again, Dronacharya and Dushashan also passed out. They are also alumni of that Gurukul. In modern society also, we have seen there are so many space scientists are there, aeronautical scientists are there, aeronautical engineers are there, but Dr. Kalam is only one. Just 2 weeks back, you might have heard one story that one child, he shoot his principal just from blank point, no, point blank range, and one child, he stabbed his teacher because teacher caught his mobile. So this kind of situation always will be there. It is not at all easy, and that's why we are in the material world, and that's why we are in this webinar, because intelligent intellectuals are not given easy tasks. We are in the best profession. Dr. Kalam says teaching is the holiest profession and toughest profession also. We are आचार्य चाणक्य says शिक्षक साधारण नहीं होता है, प्रलय और सृष्टि उसके गोद में खेलते हैं, हम सम्राट बनाने का हिम्मत रखते हैं. So we have to struggle definitely, and we have to struggle throughout our life. We can see all masters, Swami Vivekananda or Acharya Chanakya, throughout life they have burned themselves. They are the candle to show the light to other people, to ignorant people. Only 1% or 5% are enlightened. Rest all are sleeping. So it is not at all easy task. But we have to work. We have to work. We have to work. Do and die. Not do or die. We have to do and we have to die also one day. We have to leave this body also. So do and die situation.
Thank you, sir, for that. There's one more question. How can teachers assess the progress of students in areas beyond academics, such as emotional intelligence, creativity, and social skills?
Again, sir, ma'am, dear participant, this can be answered in so many ways. But if I take the words that I have used, what are these 9 components? Your existence. So by your experience, by your intuition, by your observation, and by your practical approaches also, you can understand. Like I give my example. If I see that a child in the market or in the school is not making eye contacts with me, immediately I understand either he hasn't completed the task or he does not have the confidence, he has not learned the homework given. So from these things, you can understand in so many ways. From his body language, you can understand his health culture or his other cultures also. Then one very good practice is there. One is I do in my school. You all can do. Maybe definitely some good principals do. That is parents principals meeting. Keep 6 PTM in one academic session, 6 PTMs, and in every PTM you have 1 PPM for 1 hour. That means you, the principal, school leader, will address all the parents together, and there you will discuss the common things. After that, they will go to respective classrooms, will meet to respective class teacher and subject teacher, and they again keep your door open for the principals, for the parents to come to you anytime to meet you individually. You will get all the feedbacks, whether he is waking up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. or not, whether he is touching the feet of his elders or not, whether he is reading loudly at home or not, whether he is doing the writing practice or not, whether he is having sports activities or not, whether he is sleeping entire day or he is helping his mom also in household activities. So in this way, in so many ways, you can get the feedback of the child. Most important is your own purity, own intuition. Like in ancient gurus, they never used to meet their student physically. By their meditation, they can come to know what my child is doing 2000 kilometer ahead also, because speed of light is very less. It is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second only speed of light. But the speed of soul, the speed of teacher's consciousness is infinite. So at real time moment, you can come to know what your child is doing. But definitely, it needs a rigorous practice. I am also learning.
So there's one last question from Norden. How to build resilience in students to overcome uncertainties, also the stress and challenge of students.
Again, it can be answered in so many ways, but what I can use the terminology. First is positivity, then is confidence, physical confidence, academic confidence. You can take an example of Indian Army. Best brains go for IIT, JEE or NEET, and maybe second or third category merit children, they go to NDA. But when they come out from the NDA after 4 years, they become lieutenant, they become commissioned. What they become? Everyone become a diamond. They say, remember the last dialogue of Bikram Batra. He told his his Naib Subedar that तू शादीशुदा है, तू पीछे हट, मैं अनमेरिड हूं, मैं जाता हूं उसको बचाने के लिए. So this kind of sacrifice, how they do? They have that much of endurance, tolerance, resilience, everything. Where from that come? That comes from training. Here we will use the word learning, education. In Indian Army, it says that don't trust on your luck, trust on your training. So similarly, if the child is doing his duties, that means he is learning, then he always will be confident. During the examination time, he always will enjoy. Yes, today the examination is there. I have covered everything. But the person who has slept the entire year, he will be awakened on the last night, and then he will have dizziness or headache or vomiting or tension. So result is this: confidence comes from integrity, positivity, and confidence. Thank you.